Today we're going to cover a new mental model called inversion, or thinking with inversion. It's a way to think through a situation in reverse, often by considering what we want to avoid rather than what we want to get. And a quote by Rumi sort of epitomizes this. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. And this is a mental model you can apply. We're going to apply to cryptocurrency, but obviously can be applied to your personal life as well. So let's take an example. How can I be miserable? Let's ask that instead of figuring out how to be happy. And then we can do the opposite of what would make you miserable. Or you can just simply not do what would make you miserable, which would be a good start. And we all know plenty of people who know exactly what makes them miserable and they do it anyway. So here's what I found. If I want to be miserable, I should insult my friends and drive them away. I should get divorced or stay married to someone I don't like. Never exercise. Only eat Krispy Kremes all day long. Only ponder the meaning of life. Sometimes you don't need to do the opposite. Just avoiding what would make you miserable is enough to make you happy. As for another example, as a sales rep in 2000, Tim Ferriss, who I'm a big fan of, and you should check him out if you don't know who Tim Ferriss is, asked, what if I did the opposite for 24 hours? So as a sales rep, he said, what would happen if I did the opposite for 24 hours? What if I called from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., that is before people get to work instead of from 9 to 5 like normal? What if I ask only questions instead of pitching? And ended emails with, I totally understand if you're too busy to reply, instead of, I look forward to your reply, and that kind of BS. And what he found was that by calling before 9 o'clock, instead of getting the receptionist, who was a gatekeeper, he actually got directly to the CEO in many cases. And instead of pitching, by asking questions, people got to talk about what was important to them. He actually got a lot more email responses from, I totally understand if you're too busy to reply. And he actually increased his sales because of that, according to him. All right, so let's apply inversion thinking to Bitcoin. Don't ask, how do I make a lot of money investing in cryptocurrency? Ask instead, how can I lose a lot of money? And this is just so hard to do because every bone in your body wants to avoid losing money. But here we're going to do the opposite. We're going to say, how can I lose money? Let's say, for example, you just got a trust fund from someone you despise and you just want to spite them by losing all of their money. So you're trying to figure out how I can lose it as fast as possible. All right, so here's some things you could do to lose a lot of money. Invest a lot. Trade frequently to rack up fees. Buy high, sell low. Invest in unproven coins with technology issues. So you could actually go to forums and try to find coins that have problems with them. Also go to forums and find unstable exchanges, cryptocurrency exchanges with poor security. I could publish my private key. Not everyone really realizes that there's a private key. So if you just buy Bitcoin, let's say on Coinbase, it just looks like you just bought some currency, but there's a private key which Coinbase is holding for you there. And if you publish that, then anyone can spend that currency for you. And that's not really explicit in how that works. So some people don't know that, but hopefully everyone listening to this does. So if you publish your private key, you can lose all your money. Put all your eggs in one basket, i.e. invest in only one currency, especially one of these ones with technology issues. Buy when prices are likely to be high, for example, around Christmas, when people tell their families. So someone who's excited about Bitcoin goes home for Christmas and they tell their 15 relatives, and now there's 15 more people who know about Bitcoin, actually 15 times as many people who know about Bitcoin as did before Christmas dinner, right? And then definitely sell low when bad news comes out, because that's when prices are likely to have gone down. So it just works the same way as like the stock market. So if bad news comes out about Tesla, Tesla shares will go down. And it has nothing to do with Tesla at all, really. It's just that that's when the news was published. If the news was published 2 weeks before, that's when the price would have gone down. As a general rule, not always the case. So that's how you can lose a lot of money. So now using inversion, you say, I just want to avoid doing those things. Instead of investing a lot, I'll invest a reasonable amount. Instead of trading frequently, I'll just trade every once in a while. Obviously, you want to try to buy low and sell high. Don't publish your private key. Protect your private key. So simply avoiding ways to lose money may be enough to make money in a rising market. And it might not be any more complicated than that. That's a really good place to start. And just try to avoid losing money, and that'll probably make you pretty successful. And that works for many things in life. And another way to apply inversion thinking to cryptocurrency is the same way Tim Ferriss did in the example. And that would be, what is everyone doing right now? If everyone's making sales calls from 9 to 5, I'm going to do the opposite of that. So if everyone is doing X in cryptocurrency, then I'm going to do the opposite. If everyone's investing, like all retail investors are investing in Bitcoin because they don't know about Bitcoin Cash and they don't know about anything besides Bitcoin and Ethereum and maybe Litecoin now. So what else out there is no one doing that I can do? So I'll leave that to you to think about, what is everyone doing? And if I did the opposite, what might happen? All right, that wraps up inversion thinking.